don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. You are about to watch The Sheep Show. There is some music in it, so I don't know if it's going to get demonetized. Hope you like this The Sheep Show. So, see you soon.
Was the great hero of Norfolk? I don't think Nelson was the great hero of Norfolk. I think that Nobby was a great hero. I say that because this sheep we're going to meet in a minute, this breed has been around for over 500 years. Now, not Nobby himself, obviously, but the breed. Now, 500 years ago, wool was worth a fortune. It was like the oil is today. Everyone wanted it. We had it in Britain, we exported across the seas, Belgium, Holland, places like that. The money came back and was put into the church. There are over 900 churches in Norfolk. Most of these were built for the money for wool. There's been no other commodity that's ever made so much money for this country than wool. So I think Nobby is a great hero of Norfolk, so without further ado, let's welcome on stage. Here he is, our star here at the massive sheep fair here today. Give it up for our first sheep. This is Nobby the Norfolk Horn. Give it up for Nobby! Come on, mate. Up you come. Yeah, he's just coming. The roads are very busy today. Don't worry, it's a long tune. Nobby! Oh, blimey, talk about milking it, mate. Look at him reading his name. Standing on the name of the program. So, just testing there. Right now, Nobby here. Now we're very lucky that he's here today because, in fact, this sheep is a rare breed. There are only about 800 or 900 of this type of sheep in the country, of about 34 million sheep that we have around the British Isles. Now, of course, Nobby being a handsome male, there's no question about that. He's got a nice pair of horns, but so do the females. Also have horns in the Norfolk horn case. Got black hair on his head, on his legs, wool type. Not particularly good quality, but actually produce not bad quality from our original Heath breed sheep from all those years ago. Our next sheep is a lovely little sheep. Doesn't stand very high, solid little thing, got a foot in every corner, and she's from the South Downs. Guarantee you'll love her. So wake up, Susie, let's have a big crack around little sheep. This is Susie the South Downs. Susie. Oh. Come on, chop. Oh, sorry, I should have said that. Right now, little Susie, unfortunately, I'm going to say this a little bit quietly because I don't want to upset Susie again. But her main role as a sheep breed is that she for her meat. She produces one of the sweetest meats out of our 68 different breeds of sheep that we have from the British Isles. One thing I can say nice and loudly, Susie's very proud of, is that she also produces one of our finest wools. And this fine wool here on the fleece is ideal for making our fine hosiery. And will invest pants, tights, things that are worn very close to the skin. Right now, Nobby, no wonder you're a rare breed. Right now, 250 years ago or thereabouts, we crossed these two breeds, or we mated these two breeds. So hang on a minute. Let's just set the scene. Imagine the moon was in the right place, stars were out, these two were feeling a bit frisky one night, and this beautiful relationship, which we call crossbreeding, this next great sheep was born. So let's have a look at this great love child. This is Sam the Suffolk. Give it up for Sam. Woo! Sam, read your name. Right, now Sam, of course, he gets his black head from the origin of the Norfolk horn. Now, a nice long sheep. This is a meat producing sheep. We want a nice big long sheep. He produces a big carcass. We get a big lamb chop. Now, he's got the black hair on his head and on his legs, but his main role is what we call a terminal sire. Now, kids, if you don't know what a terminal sire is, well, basically, Sam is a super daddy. Yeah, he has about 150 wives. Now, he only has to work for about 3 weeks of the year. It's probably one of the best jobs in the world. And he's certainly got the credentials for it. Well, now, these are our down breeds, or our lowland sheep. We now come on to our first hill breed, which is our blue-faced Leicester. That's one of 3 types of Leicester sheep we have in the country. Her name's Belinda, and boy, has she got a set of legs. So Check out the legs, boys. So let's pump it up here this afternoon. Come on, darling. Come on, darling. Check out the legs, boys. Yeah, and on these percent legs, girls. Yeah, she's got legs up. She's got legs up to her armpits. Right now, the Blueface Leicester are a very prolific breed, which means they produce a lot of lambs. They produce about 3 or 4 lambs a year. That's really good for a sheep. Most sheep only produce about 1 or 2. This breed, 3 to 4, and that's all at the same time. They also produce quite a lustrous fleece. Luster in the wool is brightness or shine in the wool. That's really important when it comes to dyeing. We want these colours to really shine out, so that's where our luster comes in. Right now, this breed is crossed or mated with our next sheep breed, which comes all the way from Scotland. Have we got anyone from Scotland here today? Yay! I guess that's how you're going to feel to be independent. Right, so let's have a big clap for Dougal, the Scottish Blackface. Oh, look at him. Right now, of course, living up there in Scotland, it gets a lot colder up there in the winter time than it does here. He doesn't mind living up there. He sits up on the rocky crags in the middle of winter, snow coming down, wind whistling past. No problem at all to him. That's because he grows a very coarse wool fleece on his back. When I'm talking about coarse wool, fine wool, I'm actually talking about the fibres on the sheep's back. Now, sheep have thousands and thousands of wool fibres. This coarse wool is a very large diameter fibre, a very thick fibre, ideal for making carpets and tweeds and things that are really hard wearing. Whereas our fine wool sheep here, like little Sue's got here, very small diameter fibre, very thin fibre, making our fine hosiery. One really important thing we mustn't forget about wool: it's very safe when it comes to fire. It doesn't ignite just like that. And that is why we use woolen fabrics in high-rise buildings and in aircrafts today. It's a shame we don't use it anymore. Now, as I said, we cross the Blackface with the Blueface Leicester. We mate these two breeds. That happens a lot in the country to produce our most common sheep breed in Britain today, which is our mule. So let's have a big clap for half of the mule. Yeah, right, now it's not quite an uptown girl, but what we call an upland sheep. Now, the mule, she gets the best of both worlds. She gets the boldness, the hardiness from the Blackface here. Ooh. You know, I know exactly where in Scotland he's from. Glasgow. Kids, a Glasgow kiss is not a romantic thing. Also gets a very good breeding, the high prolificity from the Blueface Leicester here. The cross or the mating produces the sheep, giving us about 1 or 2 lambs a year. But she milks these lambs, or she feeds these lambs with the milk really well. Very important. We want these lambs to go nice and fast, off the market, sell them and get some money for them. Grows a good round fleece type of about 3 or 4 kilograms of weight. She's a good round sheep. And that's why this sheep breed is the most common sheep breed in Britain today. And this is what the big sheep sales are at the moment in the north of England. This is what it's all about. These mules are being produced up here in the north of England and sold in the big sales up here, sold down into the south of England to replace the older stock down there. So very, very important time of the year for the upland farmers up here for these sales to be a great success. Because that's where most of their income comes from. Right now, kids, you're going to love our next sheep. He is our Rasta, or our hippie in the sheep world. So we're going to put on a bit of Bob Marley mood. There's a bit of sunshine music for you. Let's have a big clap for our Rastafarian sheep. Come on, Lenny. He's a casual sort of bloke. Some days he says, oh, here he is. Lenny, they love you out there. God knows why. All right, we're coming. Actually, he sort of reminds me a bit of Bob Marley, don't you think? In fact, they're quite similar, really, because they both like grass. That's your mum and dad, kids. He grows wool right from the tip of his nose, right to the tip of his toes. 16 to 17 pounds or 7 to 8 kilograms of long, lustrous wool. Kids, And like that for a hairdo. That's a pretty amazing looking hairdo. These fantastic looking dreadlocks, these are actually what we call wool staples. Now there's the staple wool, look at that one, there's about 10 inches long. The record for a Lincoln wool staple, 32 inches. He grows a massive fleece. Now he's widely travelled as a Lincoln. He's been down to New Zealand, where I'm originally from, and South America, and that great cheating nation called Australia. And he crossed with breeds down there to increase wool weight. So he's a really important sheep in our wool-producing countries. Unfortunately, today in Britain, the Lincoln's class as a rare breed. Well, now, next breed doesn't come from Britain. He actually originates from a little island off the coast of Holland called Texel. Where we say Texel, now this guy is big. He's bad. He's the Mike Tyson of the sheep world. Let's have a look at this guy. This is Terry the Texan. Come on, big boy, up he comes. Whoa, look at that. Now, he's definitely not blessed with beauty, but boy, is he built like a brick sheep. Yeah, now he's actually got something that none of these other sheep have got. That's got you thinking, isn't it? He's actually got a double muscle on his back end here. We don't like double muscles on our back ends, but for sheep production, that is good news, because this is the expensive part of the sheep. Okay, from here on back, this is where the best cuts of meat are, and he's finding us with an extra on in there. He also produces nice bulky wool. Now remember, 75% of British wool goes into carpet production. So we want a nice bulky wool with a nice spring in the carpet. I know, I'm going to mention it now. He's a very successful sheep in this country, and he's now seen widely throughout the world today. Isn't that right, mate? Yeah, okay. Strawberry, yeah. Behave just like you look. Right, now, make a good bouncer, wouldn't he? Now, next breed, well, we don't see a lot of, really. We may see one on this hill and one on that hill, and he's a bit of a loner, really. So if you want to help him on stage, put your hands in there, have a little sing this afternoon, okay? Get those vocals, just go there and mass them. Oh, he's our little Hershey. He doesn't want to be by himself anymore, but that is the little life he lives, because this little guy is from the Lake District. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to go camping in the Lake District, but every second day it just rains. He doesn't mind living there. None of these other sheep breeds are like to live up there. He doesn't mind. He lives on bracken, blackberries, things that no other sheep will eat. This guy, he doesn't even need a fence to keep him in. He's what we call a hefted sheep. Now that means he's sort of born in a valley and he stays in the valley. If he oversteps outside the valley, he goes, I don't feel very comfortable here, I'll just stay back here. He's a bit like the people from Lancashire, really. They never get out of the county much either. Now, little Harry here produces a black and a grey fleece. Now, that is not ideal. We want white wool. We can dye it any colour we want. He produces a little lamb about that big. That's not ideal. But kids, good things are worth waiting for. If we wait long enough, those lambs got the tastiest lamb chops you've ever had. But the really important thing about this guy, this is the guy that maintains a little bit of countryside, which you call a Lake District. This is the guy that keeps that little bit of countryside looking as beautiful as we expect to be. It's really important we keep these little sheep breeds. Even though they perhaps don't produce what the big market wants, they're real specialists in their own little field. And at the moment, we've got a bit of controversy going on between environmentalists, scientists, government, whether we should have sheep up on the hill. We've got to remember that 65% of our farmland can only be grazed. In Scotland, that's more like 80%. Now, I know there's a bit of a veggie push at the moment, okay? We can't grow vegetables everywhere in the country. These guys are experts at looking after the uplands of England, Wales and Scotland, okay, maintaining it in the countryside that we're so used to looking at. You take them off the hill, that will change that landscape forever. Now, you may be involved in that argument, okay, and there's all this carbon thing, okay. Grazed land actually stores more carbon because of the soil underneath it. We've got plenty of earth, not a lot of soil. These guys are the ones that create that soil by eating off the vegetation off the top. Those roots get hungry, and that makes the soil underneath. Really important to keep these this livestock up there on the uplands. Right, well, they behave themselves reasonably well, so I think another little clap for my 9 woolly friends there. Oh, well done, you've all just clapped sheep. Right, now, every year we have to shear the sheep, and these guys are going to chill out now. Sam's going to have a little sleep. They're going to have a little bit of sit down. They know the show off by heart. They're going to have a little sit down. They're going to watch the shearing. Then they're going to get up and they're going to do their little dance routine. And so if you haven't seen the dancing sheep, stick around. Every year we have to shear the sheep. Actually, by law, we have to shear the sheep. And this happens in about April, May, June, July, just depending where you are in the country. But before I come to my shearing demonstration, I can see some of you guys going, what has he got on his feet? Well, actually, these are shearing moccasins. Now, when it comes to shearing the sheep, we're actually holding the sheep with our legs. Not with our hands. Our hands are too busy with the shearing machine. So we mustn't lose the grip of the floor. Don't want to end up down there somewhere with the heavy grade Euromars. So we've got these wool felt shoes. Now originally, when we used to shear the sheep, we used to use a very big and sharp pair of scissors like these here. Now these are called hand shears. We just clip the wool down like that. It was actually very hard work, using muscles in the hand, never used before. When you got 34 million sheep to shear in about 3.5 months, you've really got to go for it. These really weren't fast enough. Most of you have probably got these in your garden shed because they make fantastic topiary shears. But if you want to see a wonderful collection, there's a man around there, okay, behind the church. There's all sorts of stalls around there, okay, and people looking out for different models of these and collections. Okay, it's a wonderful collection of all shearing machines and so forth. But today, fortunately, we've got electricity. Up here, electric motor, little pulley system here, kids, flexible drive shaft. So look, if I pull this, can you see that whizzing around there? Okay, and right on the bottom of it is this little handpiece. This handpiece is a little bit like a barber's clipper, gentlemen and boys, that goes up your back of your neck. You know that horrible feeling? Let's see, there's a few out there who've had a fairly close experience with one of these. Got a comb on the bottom, it's got a cutter on the top, and it runs down the skin, clipping the wool about 1 millimetre off the skin. We're trying to get as much length of wool as possible. Now, this has certainly speeded up things. The record now stands for shearing. It was broken by Kiwi, 800 down in Cornwall, 863 sheep in a 9-hour working day. That is one sheep every 45 seconds. Now, there's plenty of people who can shear sheep in 30 seconds, but they may do 1 or 2. But over 9 hours, absolutely incredible. The really sad thing about that, though, that same guy was at the Royal Bath and West show this year competing. A sheep kicked and the handpiece went straight through his tendon. It is still very much a manual job. We don't have any injection or pill or anything that we can give the sheep. It's still very much a manual job. Now, I know there are members of our society who sit behind grey screens and make some very interesting accusations and belong to an interesting group called PETA, and the more radical things they say, the more people seem to react to it and give them money. I'm not quite sure, but they don't think we should be shearing sheep. Over hundreds of years, we've developed sheep to grow more and more wool. We have that responsibility to take it off. Now, it is a manual job, okay, and it's very much a physical job, and we've got to do that as the best way we can. So, we're just going to plug our machine in here. We're going to give it a little bit of a test run. And, of course, we need a volunteer. Brilliant. Hi there, mate. Do you know what you volunteered for? No, I don't think you did. You volunteered for a haircut. Yeah, you missed a bit at the top there. You've done the sides, but you've missed a bit at the top. You won't need another haircut for at least a year. Or should we stick with the sheep? Should we stick with the sheep?
Sorry.
Yeah, give him a round of applause, because at least he volunteered. And don't forget, folks, okay, a lot of volunteers put this wonderful event for you on every year, okay? Put a huge amount of effort into this missing sheep there. So if you've had a good day, and don't forget, okay, we are collecting for the Yorkshire Air Ambulance today. So please dig deep, okay? There's a bucket there, or make sure you got your little stickers on, yeah, and you supported the Yorkshire Air Ambulance. Right, so Dougal. Try and stay awake. No, he's out of it. Okay, right, good. Right, okay, so ready, kids? Now, I've got a little sheep in here that's going to do just the trick. The only thing is, sheep travel at about 45 miles an hour. I'm going to open the door. The sheep is going to be looking for other sheep. It's going to be heading in this direction. Most of the time, I catch it. Apart from last week, when it all went horribly wrong. So now they tell me I've got to give you a health and safety announcement. Because I know in this country, you love it. So if the sheep is out there and I'm unattached to it, it is definitely not part of the show. Just jump on it and enjoy the experience, okay? Don't worry, we've got some police here. They're pretty good at... No, they're actually not very good at catching things, so not very good at them. Right, sorry. Right, so probably get cleaned up on the way home. Right, so you ready, kids? This is so exciting. We're going to count it down from 5. You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go. Oh, that's a nice quiet one. Come on, out you come. Come on. That's right. Oh, there we go. Nice quiet one. Oh, hang on. Pretty keen to get on with it. So the first thing we've got to do is to get it out of four-wheel drive. That's right. Say hello. Four-wheel drive. Phil, we're standing. Whatever you do, don't send this picture to the sun, all right? So you want to just sit. Sit. You're not going to sit. So what we've got to do is we've got to turn the sheep over. What we don't want to be doing is lifting every sheep. Talk about health and safety, manual handling. You don't want to be hurting our backs, and we also to help the sheep a little bit. So we've got a little bit of a manoeuvre just to help us shear the sheep. Or turn. Hey, hang on, Eric. So we're just going to turn her head back. We roll her over, and we get her sitting nice and comfortable. Now, when I go to the barber, I like to make myself comfortable. Same with the sheep. So we sit them not on their tailbone because that does hurt. We lie them slightly on their side, leaning back and against us here. She's pretty comfortable. Totally relaxed. This is not a pet one. We'll just keep gluing the wool back on every show. I've got a big Velcro system in there. Okay, folks, we've got a bus park there. I'm not quite sure. And this car wants to get through. Okay. Oh, no, they decide to turn around. There isn't another way, but anyway, let them go around. Okay, right. So, so this sheep ready to have fish shearing. Now, this sheep, we can tell the age of a sheep, kids, by her teeth. So let's just clear that hair. Let's have a look at your teeth, darling. Oh, she's still got her baby teeth. Who's still got their baby teeth? Yeah. Okay, some of them missing. Okay, well, yeah, not many at the back there, are there? Okay, yeah, that guy's got no teeth. Anyway, kids, she's a little bit different to you. She hasn't got any teeth on her top jaw. No, sheep don't at the front. They just have a hard pad. It sort of looks like your granny with her teeth out, really. Okay, well, that hard pad, that makes sheep very good grazers or eaters of grass. Because what they do is they chisel the grass right from the bottom. So it is the ideal lawnmower, really, to keep the countryside looking nice and tidy. So, ready, little girl? I'm Richard. I'm your hairdresser. Where you going on your holidays, then? So what we'll do is do what we do in Norwich on a Saturday night, so home we go, darling. Right, so there we go. This is not going to hurt the sheep. What we're doing is just running the handpiece over the top of the skin, just like that, so it doesn't hurt the sheep. So we're going to start on our belly wool or our tummy wool. Now this is a little bit lower quality. Of course, most of the time the sheep has been sitting on it. So we're going to keep that separate. That'll go into mattress filling, sock making, and our lower quality wool products. So that go nice and gently down here. There's two little things at the bottom we don't want to snip off, do we, girl? I did just check that I was a girl too before we started. A bit embarrassing, take some off that shouldn't have come off. So there's our belly wool off there. We're then coming to the bikini line. Yeah, so ladies, if you're heading out on holiday soon, today's your chance. 50p. Don't worry, I'll pay you. Right, so then we start coming down the leg here. Now, all the time I'm using my left hand to actually stretch out the skin. Remember, my comb here is flat, the sheep is round and pointed, and we want the full length of the wool. So all the time using my left hand to actually stretch out the skin or trying to keep the sheep as flat as possible. Just cleaning up over the tail. Of course, the sheep doesn't use toilet paper, so it gets a bit mucky around here. And you get these little, oh, how do you like those for a Klingon, kids? Yeah, that's what you get if you don't wipe your bottom properly, all right. Okay, so we just tuck that around there. We then start coming up the middle of the sheep. Now we start from the middle of the sheep because all the dirty bits are underneath the legs, and they're going to end up on the outside of the piece when we're finished. Now, it's a bit like when you're doing your shaving, guys. You don't want to cut yourself, so you're going to stretch all your wrinkles out. So, you know, kids, when you watch your dad does the shaving, he stretches out his wrinkles like that, so he doesn't cut himself. Same with your mum when she does her legs. She pulls all that loose skin out of the way, doesn't she? Yeah.
You shouldn't be laughing. Right, so mind these little ears, because they've got our little ear tags on. All our sheep now have to have a microchip in the ear tag. It's all about traceability these days, because you want to know where your products come from. So we have to do our little bit on the farm, and we expect you to do your bit. So, kids, when you go to the supermarket, you put your shopping over the scanner. What's the little noise you hear? Beep. Yeah, you know what you're reading? The barcode. So over the lamb chops now. This is the bit the shearer likes. It's what we call the long blows. Coming down the other side, of course, new season's lamb just on the market. So farmers are trying to offload now. The grass has stopped growing and winter's coming. We've got to cut our numbers down. So they're trying to sell off the lambs. So slamming the lamb, chuck it on the barbie. Okay, or in the freezer there. A little bit worrying with Brexit, because 60% of our lamb is exported to France. It's only because they're prepared to pay more for it than you are. So that reminds me, I've got to do your hairy armpits, so I don't want you going away looking too European. Pardon. Okay, right, so we're just coming down on the last side there. That's what you call being fleeced, right? Just on to the last leg. Lovely little lamb, this little Suffolk cross. Not all of us shear lambs, but we do in the south a little bit more. And there's our shorn sheep. There we go. Yay. Right, now shearers have a few little problems to deal with, which you probably didn't notice. Now kids, can you see all these wrinkles here? Yeah, do you recognise those? Perhaps looks a bit like your mum's tum. Okay, ooh. It's what your dad calls the cuddly bits, okay? We don't want those getting in the way. We don't want to give the sheep a nip and a tuck. So that's why we've got to keep bending the sheep outwards. We've also got these legs that go backwards and forwards. We want a nice flat surface there to work on. So what we do is we push this little button here. And now it pops for that. Same on the back leg. That handpiece is very, very sharp. We don't want to cut there, so just to make sure they don't pull a leg back like that, running the handpiece down there, we push this button here. Hiya! Yeah! Out of post to that. Very useful to know those little buttons. If you think, poor little thing, it's going to be freezing cold tonight, don't worry. The next 24 hours, this skin is actually going to thicken threefold or 3 times. That's going to keep the cold out. Lanolin, the natural grease that's in the wool and the skin, that's going to come up and that's going to keep the moisture out. There's no problem at all the sheep being cold. Of course, if we get a lot of rain, of course we'll keep it inside the first 12 hours. Right, so we're just going to pop you back in there, and we'll see it again in about 12 months' time for this next fleece. Well, actually, probably before that. Most of the wool grows fastest in the summertime. So what we tend to do is shear in the summertime. I could get all the summer wool off, and then in the wintertime we get a lot shorter growth. Sometimes in New Zealand we shear twice a year, so get the winter growth off, and then we get that summer growth off. So have you nicked all my fleece yet, kids? Okay, hang on a minute, leave some on there because I've got to explain a little bit about it. So we're just going to turn you over, we'll just pop you back in here for a minute. Okay, in you go, that's it. In you go, that's it. And when the timer goes, you're about ready. That was a joke. Right, so let's have a look what the sheep is. We get paid per sheep. So obviously we want to get on to the next sheep. We don't want to be sorting the wool out. We've always got someone to give us a hand. In New Zealand and Australia, we call those people a rousey or rouseabout. Over here, they're called an agricultural wool technician. Yeah, right. So we're going to gather up. Right now, remember, wool has this other wonderful quality. It's very springy. It keeps bouncing back. Now that's very useful when it comes to carpet making, because that spring will remain in your carpets for years and years. So folks, remember that when you're going to buy a carpet. If you're looking at buying carpet, look for the new British Wool Gold mark there. That's 100% British wool, or silver for the blend. The British wool, they look at 34 million fleeces a year. It takes 5 years to be a wool grader. They have a look at the colour. Kids, what colour do we want the wool to be? White. Well done. We want it to be white so we can dye it any colour we want. We have a look at the length of it. Now remember, that sheep had never been shorn before, so the first bit of wool it grew was when it was a baby lamb, had that little bit on the top there called the lamb's tip. Again, that's why lamb's wool is always a little bit softer, got that little soft edge there. Of course, if we wear it close to our skin, it's perfect as a base layer. Wool soaks up 30% of its own weight and moisture, so it takes all that moisture away from you. Okay, and also if you're a little bit smelly in that department, it also takes up all those smells. but it also gives off heat. When it's a bit damp, it gigs off heat. So it's perfect as a base layer if you're walking out in the mountains there, or in the hills. Good length, strength. It's got to go through loads of process to clean it, nice and strong. They then give us a price. Well, one of these fleeces, this will make probably 2 or 3 jumpers. So how much do you reckon this fleece is worth? Must be quiet. Let's have a look now. Any ideas? Madam, what do you reckon? What do you reckon for this fleece here? How much? That's pure virgin wool. What? Less than £1. Is that the best offer? What do you reckon? Any more offers than that? We're starting about at £1 here, £1 there, nice little bit of £1. Any more ones on £1? How much? 20 pounds. Yeah, no, nice little bit over here, £20. No, it's against you, £20 there, 20, nice little bit. I tell you what, it's pretty hard work up here. 2 weeks ago I was down in London. We started the bidding at £150. Today I'm in Yorkshire. It's better than Lancashire, mine. Anyway, but the sad reality is that this little fleece here probably worth about £1.50, £2, something like that. Not a lot of money. Out of that, I have got to get paid. I get paid over £1 for shearing the sheep. So there's not a lot of money in it. Never mind, the old farmers, they keep struggling on. Well, you're a sympathetic lot, aren't you? Yeah, as long as you got your food 24 hours a day, you're more than happy, aren't you? Well, we'll see what happens in the future. Okay, it all might come to a halting stop. Anyway, never mind. Taken to Bradford, sold on the world market. Whoever buys it gets a scouter wash. Now, kids, look, on the underside, it's nice and clean. But look on the top side, all this dirt. We don't want that dirt in our jumpers. That's got to be washed out. It goes into a huge washing machine, or what we call a scourer, and it washes all the dirt out of it. No, a scourer, not a shower, okay? It also takes out another wonderful product called lanolin. Lanolin, ladies and girls, is the basis of a lot of face creams and hand creams and lipsticks. It comes from the fleece here. It gives you lovely soft hands. I mean, these hands are so soft, they really should belong on a woman's body. I do like the English language. It's so versatile, isn't it? So actually, there's a lot of work going on involved in lanolin, because lanolin in a solid form is actually worth more than gold at the moment. It's suddenly become very, very valuable, and there's a lot of work trying to extract the lanolin out of the wool. Mind your backs, folks, there's a van coming through. Surely that bus has got to be moved by now. Anyway, so never on top. Okay, perhaps the bus driver's watching. Anyway, so we're just going to tease out the wool. Then we can give we put a little slight twister. Now I've got a very basic spinning machine here. This is what we call a drop spindle, kids. Now you can actually make one of these, because I've seen it done on Blue Peter, out of a pencil and a Maris Piper. Do you know what a Maris Piper is? It's not a Scotsman that can't play the bagpipes. It's a potato. What you do, you shove the pencil through the potato, not the other way round. You put a ½ inch at the bottom and a ½ inch at the top, and round you go. Now what happens, I'm glad someone got the joke. Okay, and what happens is wool's got microscopic hooks on it, little scales. So as it goes round, it all comes together nicely. Now with knitting needles, knitting machines, we're going to jumpers, socks, scarves, things like that. If it doesn't go into that sort of things, we've got lots of lines of these, and we weave wool in between. That makes our suits, trousers, upholstery, and the carpets. But if you want to see the experts doing it, head in the wool event there. Okay, there's wonderful weaving and spinning going on there with some wonderful machines. So go and see them. Well, that's our little wool story. But I know what you've all been waiting for. Is to see these sheep dance.
Yay! Yay!
You didn't even wake him up. So who wants to see these sheep dance?
Yay!
So do I. Well, actually, kids, I tell you what, can you open that wool sack there? And we're just going to put this little wool in here. We need the whole stage, so we're just going to put that. Well done. Okay. Oh, it's a bit wet, isn't it? Okay. Oh, hello. You nearly got fleece there. Okay. Close the bag. That's right. Okay. There, 3 bags full. There we go. Right now. Last year they were dancing not too badly, really, for sheep. And please remember, folks, they're sheep. okay? But you should review everything you do. I was looking at my videos over the winter time, thought, do you know, there's just something missing there, really. So I was watching the telly. I don't know if you're watching the telly over the winter. Every second night there was dancing, wasn't there? Dancing on ice and roller skates, and Britain's Got Debatable Talent. There was these dance troupes. I thought, I know, what I'll do is I'll send the girls to London. So Belinda and Martha went to London. Belinda went to the Royal Ballet School. She learned how to hold her head, okay? Now we get a fantastic leg extension like that. By the way, you can always tell a blue-faced Leicester in the field. They always sit with the head in the air. I don't know what it is, but they do. Martha went with her. Well, she got on the wrong bus. She ended up in Blackheath and at the break dance. Terry, he shakes the groove thing. Got a lot to shake. Susie does a river dance. Not a very big one, because she's vertically challenged. Nobby, nice little two-step coming on from you. Sam. Is from Suffolk. Dougal, typical Scots. The Scots are very reserved, but I tell you what, you put a bit of music on, give them a drink, and away they go. He has been to Glastonbury at least 5 times. He's seen these hippies who stand all 5 days, going a bit like this, okay? So we're going to get something hippie-ish from him. And Harry, by the way, Harry did create this fantastic carpet for the Olympics out of his naturally coloured wool. There is no dyes in there at all. Those are all natural colours from the Herdwick. Harry, what do you do? I've sort of forgotten what you do. Okay, good idea. Choreographer. Right. So it's all there. So what we'll do, we'll put on a bit of music, and that should really get things going. Right. Ooh. No, here we go. Right. Now, as soon as the music comes on, you get immediate reaction. Well, that's one. As soon as the music comes on, you get immediate reaction. No, well, it's a bit like us, really. When we go out clubbing, kids, I've seen your mums and dads when they go out clubbing, they don't walk there straight off the street, straight into a nightclub and start moving and grooving like this. No way do they do that. They walk in there, stretch the cucumber, and they go, oh, I don't know if I'm really in the mood for this tonight. So the old foot starts going like this, and your mum's hips start going like this. She puts down her handbag, whatever that's about, or the same with the sheep, and it's going to get up there and start dancing. Go, feel that bit of rhythm thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, the crowd's with me. Each one's got to do their own individual dance. I'm afraid there's no line dancing. We're going to start with Harry. He's the choreographer. I can see a little bit of movement coming in with him now. Good lad, okay. We're going to work our way through the boys, okay, down through the girls, down to Terry. He's going to show us how they dance in Holland. So today, folks, we're going to do hustle. Okay, be upstanding, Dougal. Well done. Don't let Scotland out. Good idea. Have a stretch. Good lad. Okay, right. So you're right there, Harry. You're the choreographer. So we're a little bit reliant on you. I'm going to come down here and have a chat to me. Something I've forgotten what to do. I'll come down here, mate. So just feel a grip. Oh, yeah. I know you're from Glasgow. Yep. Okay, be upstanding, Lenny. Belinda, sharp your legs, darling. Have a stretch. That's right. Hold on. Okay, that's right. Get in the groove there, guys. Okay, I'll start with you. I don't mind dancing. I love this bit of a tune here. Okay, just join in when you can, Lenny. Join in when you can. That's right. Okay, he's getting in the groove now. Yeah, look at this dude. Oh, God knows what planet he's on. He's really getting into it now. That's right. Belinda's showing off her legs. Okay, that's right. You're right there, darling. Okay, Harry, I think we've got him going. Well done, mate. Look at him. Oh, he's really going for it now. Okay. Yeah, he's been on the grass all night, so he should be alright, shouldn't he? Okay, that's right. Bit of sloper now. Okay, that's right. Well done there. Dougal says there, come near me, Johnny. I'll give you a kiss. That's right. Look, there's lights in Suffolk after all. Yeah, Belinda's saying, come on, wind it up, Dad, wind it up. Okay, that's right. Well done. Shut your legs there, darling. That's right. Look, kids, I think Belinda's going to be DJ, working the turntable. That's right. That's right, she's Fat Boy Slim's lost his job. Okay, that's right. Okay, put on another tune. That's right. Oh, look, there's Nobby. I guess that's normal for Norfolk. Not right there. That's right, Sam. Oh, look, a nice little cha-cha-cha there. Okay, backwards and forwards. Well done. Very nice there. Okay, Stevie. Martha, do your Stevie Wonder impression. Do your Stevie Wonder impression. Okay, all right, Belinda, you're wearing out the stage here. Look at that. That's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, but the Stevie Wonder coming in, and the big ugly bloke down the end there, the Phil Mitchell look-alike. Okay, look at him. Yeah, no one's going to dance with him. Okay, he's doing the best he can. Okay, yeah, no one's going to dance with you. Oh, well, never mind there. There you go, folks. There's the sheep show. There you go. Woo! Thanks so much, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Today, folks, a lot of our clothing is made out of plastic. look what we're doing to the planet. Here is a wonderful product, biodegradable, sustainable, hypoallergenic. Okay, it comes from the sheep every year. Okay, they grow it naturally, made out of the sunshine. So get in amongst it. Okay, and you can buy your wool events there. So enjoy your day here, and whatever you do, be nice to each other. Thank you very much. And don't forget, we're collecting for the air ambulance. Okay, Yorkshire Air Ambulance, very important out here in rural areas.
Unreroute the river.
Here's a bucket, and please fill it. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll be back. Excuse me. We'll be back here again at 3:30 for the last show, when it's going to be.
Hope you enjoyed the sheep show. Yeah, the guy was fantastic. I loved the whole performance of the sheep show. So don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hope you enjoyed the sheep show. Yeah, the guy was fantastic. I loved the whole performance of the sheep show. So don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.